Okay, welcome to our video here. In this video, our objective is that students will be able to solve multi-step equations with the variable on one side of the equal sign. So first, we're going to review some important skills necessary to meet that objective, and then we're going to solve some problems that are at that objective. One of the first skills you have to be able to solve multi-step equations is to be able to solve simpler equations, two-step equations, where we have a variable on one side of the equation and we only have to do complete two steps to solve it. So let's review a couple here first. Please follow along on your notes if you have them, and you should have them. Here I have 5k minus 8 equals 27. My goal here is to solve for k, so I know that there's some number for k that makes this equation true. My first step is to add 8 to both sides of the equation. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. To get rid of a minus 8, the opposite of a minus 8 is a plus 8 or a positive 8. These will cancel out. If I take 8 steps forward and I take 8 steps back, they cancel each other out. I end up right just where I started, so these cancel. On this side, I have 5k left. The 5k comes straight down, and so does the equal sign. 27 plus 8 is 35. So 5k equals 35. When I have this coefficient here, a number next to a variable, all that means is multiplication. And so to undo multiplication so that we can get this k by itself, we have to do the opposite of multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I divide each side by 5. These cancel. I'm left with k is equal to 35 divided by 5 is 7. Okay. Let's look at this next one. I'll grab my black marker. I have 17 equals 5 minus 4g. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I'm trying to get this g by itself. So to do that, I need to get rid of this 5 first. This is a positive 5. So to get rid of a positive 5, I have to do a negative 5 or a minus 5. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So I do a minus 5 over here. These cancel. The only thing left on this side of the equation is a negative 4g. 17 minus 5 is 12. So now I have 12 equals negative 4 times g. To get rid of this multiplication here, I simply have to do division. So I divide each side by negative 4. These cancel. G is by itself. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. So g is equal to negative 3. Okay. Hopefully those examples made sense to you. If you're in my class, that's a review, but it's a very important skill here. So now is your chance to prove to yourself that you have this skill mastered. So this is a you do. So go ahead and pause the video and complete these questions. So pause the video now and complete these questions, and then I'll be here to review it. Okay, hopefully you're unpausing the video now, which means you solved the questions. Since it's a you do, I'll go over it quickly so you can check your answer. To get rid of a plus 9, I subtract 9 from both sides. These cancel. On this side, I'm left with 5x. 24 minus 9 is 15. So now my equation is 5x equals 15. To get rid of multiplication, I do division. I divide each side by 5. These cancel. I'm left with x. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Hopefully you got that on your own. I went through it quickly since it was a you do. Okay, next one. I have a t as my variable. I need to solve for t. To get t by itself, I need to get rid of this plus 7. I subtract 7 from both sides. These cancel. On this side, I'm just left with negative 5t. On this side, I have 32 minus 7. That's 25. So now my new equation is 25 equals negative 5t. To get this rid of this multiplication, I divide each side by negative 5. These cancel. T is by itself now. 25 divided by negative 5 is negative 5. And we get t is equal to negative 5. Hopefully you got both of those right. If not, maybe rewind and try again and make sure you understand. Okay. The next skill we have to be able to solve these long equations is we had to be able to simplify expressions. So here we'll notice that we have an expression. An expression does not have an equal sign. Equations have equal signs, which means we can't solve for the variable here. We can make this expression more simple. So one of the ways that we can make expressions more simple is by combining like terms. So here I have a 4w and a positive 10w. 4w and a positive 10w, those will combine, right? I can combine those because they are like terms. They have the same variable. A 4w and a 10w gives me 14w. And then I have some more like terms. I have a negative 12 and a positive 10. These are like terms because neither of them have a variable. They're just plain numbers. I can combine those together. A negative 12 and a positive 10. If I stand at negative 12 on a number line and I walk forward 10 spots, I will end up at negative 2. So this simplifies to 14w minus 2. Okay, this is a simpler version of this expression. They're the same thing. This is just a more simple version. The other skill we have to be able to simplify expressions is the distributive property, which means when I have a number outside parentheses, it multiplies to every term inside the parentheses. So I do negative 2 times 3x, I get negative 6x. I do negative 2 times positive 5, I get negative 10. And this positive 2x right here, it is not in the parentheses, so it does not get multiplied by the negative 2. I simply drop it down, negative 2x. Now that I've done that, I have like terms that I can combine. This is a negative 6x, and this is a negative 2x. So I can still simplify this even more. A negative 6x and a negative 2x give me negative 8x minus 10. This minus 10 can just come down. There's no like terms with it. And the most simple version of this expression is negative 8 minus 10. Okay, you should know the drill by now. Now that I've completed the review or the example, it's your turn to practice. Please pause the video now, unpause when you're completed, and I will quickly go over these. Okay, hopefully you are unpausing the video, which means you completed it. Let's quickly go over this. We're going to simplify this expression here first. I'm going to combine my like terms. I have a negative 3c and a positive 10c. Those combine to give me 7c. I have a positive 12 and a negative 10. 12 minus 10 is how I can think about that. 12 minus 10 is positive 2. And I get 7c plus 2. That's the most simple version of this. These are not like terms, so they cannot be combined. Over here, I'm going to distribute. 3 times 2y is 6y. 3 times 7 is positive 21. This negative 3y is not inside the parentheses, so it does not get the distribution. I can just simply drop it down. And then I combine my like terms. I have a 6y and a negative 3y. Those combine for a positive 3y. 6 minus 3 is positive 3. And this plus 21 can simply come down. And so my most simple version of this is 3y plus 21. Okay, now we have the two skills that we needed to meet today's objective. We're only doing one example and one you do. So please pay close attention to the example. Now we're going to combine those skills together. First, I have an equation here. It's negative 2 times 3x plus 5 equals negative 28. My first step here is going to be to simplify the expression. I want to simplify the expression over here. I want to make this look like a two-step equation. As we get more into solving equations, that's our goal. Make everything look like a two-step equation because we know how to solve those. All right, so let's do it. I have a negative 2 times 3x, I get negative 6x, and a negative 2 times 5. That gives me negative 10. I have now simplified this. This equals sign and the negative 28, they simply come straight down. Equals negative 28. Look, by just using the skills we already have, knowing how to simplify expressions, I've taken this and I've made it look like a two-step equation. And I know how to solve two-step equations. So now, and you know how to solve two-step equations. We can just solve it just like we did in example 1 and in UDO 1. We're trying to get this x by itself. We're trying to solve for x. To do that, I need to get rid of this minus 10. To get rid of a minus 10, I do the opposite. I add 10 to both sides. These cancel. I get negative 6x equals negative 28 plus 10 is negative 18. If I stand at negative 28 on a number line and I walk forward 10 spaces, I end up at negative 18. This is signaling multiplication. To get rid of the multiplication, I do division, so I divide each side by negative 6. These cancel. I get x is equal to negative 18 divided by negative 6, positive 3. All right. No new skills. I didn't teach you anything that you already don't know how to do. I just took some skills that you have and I put them together to solve a longer math problem. I want you to try that on your own here. So go ahead and pause the video and then unpause when you finish. Okay. Hopefully you're unpausing because you finished solving the equation. I'm going to just quickly go over it since it's a UDO. First, I'll distribute. 4 times 3v is 12v. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 equals 52. All right, now that I've distributed, I have a two-step equation, and we know how to solve two-step equations. To get rid of a minus 20, I add 20. These cancel. I get 12v equals 52 plus 20 is 72. Now it's just a one-step equation. To get rid of multiplication, I divide each side by 12. These cancel. V is by itself on this side. 72 divided by 12 is 6. And just like that, we've learned to solve equations with a variable on one side of the equal sign using simplification. That's the end of this video. We will continue to work on this in the next lesson.